Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing money. What are your salary expectations? What number am I thinking of? How in the world are you supposed to guess what number the hiring manager is thinking of? Are you tired of playing these career games only to come out on the losing end? Do you develop cold feet when the salary question comes up in the interview? It's time to win the salary negotiation game. Come on down. Do you want to learn how not to overprice or undervalue yourself? Watch this video to the end and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I was interviewing a candidate whom I asked about salary expectations and she said anything. I could tell she was beaten down by job searching, so I counseled her to never sell herself short. Job seekers, if you say anything, it won't help your assessment during the interview. Negotiation is part of the job application process. The biggest mistake I see people make is not even trying, especially if you have been job searching for a while. Many people are afraid to take the first step to negotiate for fear that they might lose the job offer. You can't lose what was never yours in the first place. On the contrary, stating the right amount qualifies you for the role. It also shows you are confident and competitive and know your worth. It's been reported that only 29% of job seekers enter salary negotiations, which means 71% may earn lower by not negotiating. You never want to leave potential income on the table. Negotiating will not eliminate you from getting the job offer unless you are asking for a ridiculous amount. Your salary is more than just money. It shows how much a company appreciates your work and values your skills. A wrong answer can result in a job offer with a salary that is too low. Knowing that you will be substantially underpaid compared to your peers or lower than what you are actually worth is not a great feeling. I know, I have been there. Remember that your interviewer has vast experience about how to handle his or her response to your answer to this question. So I'm going to share sample answers and any other potential questions that may come up in the interview. By the end of this video, I want you to learn strategies on how to negotiate your salary. I want you to feel empowered to ask for the salary you deserve. Keep in mind, salary negotiation is something you should become proficient at since you will need to keep doing this over the course of your career. Okay, let's begin. As someone who has conducted over 1,000 interviews, I'm going to share 5 tips on how to answer what's your salary expectations. In the first place, why do interviewers ask this question? Interviewers want to know if they can afford you and how you value your skills and experience. It's a tricky question, which can turn the interview from sunny, warm, and fuzzy to ice cold. Sometimes this question can be asked in a slightly different manner, so don't be caught off guard. What are your compensation expectations? What do you expect in the way of salary? What salary range would you require to take this job? What salary do you want? What salary are you looking for in this role? So many job seekers forget that an interview is a two-way street. Yes, you may be seeking a job, but the relationship should be mutually beneficial. You don't go on a first date without preparation or questions to ask to ensure it's a good fit. So why would you do that for a job interview? That brings me to tip 1. Be prepared. Do your homework. This is a very important step in your interview prep. Never discuss salary expectations before researching the market rate. Companies have their own research firms who tell them what the industry standards are. And they have a way of sticking with firms who tell them the industry standard is lower. So don't go into the interview unarmed. Research the average salary for the role you are being interviewed for. Research that particular company's salary structure if possible. And also research other companies with similar jobs in the same area to get the average salary range. But don't talk about salary ranges of competitors. Although you do your research, don't mention company XYZ is paying its employees this amount. Focus on trying to get a realistic figure. Check multiple sources and average what you find. Where can you find salary ranges? Check out sites as Glassdoor, Indeed, PayScale, Salary.com, SalaryList.com, and SalaryExpert.com. Utilize their salary calculators. I would also add GovSalaries.com to the list. It gives you the opportunity to check how much exactly people earn in government agencies. To be honest, salary information is not always easy to get online. The sources and reliability of information varies. Depending on your search, you may get little to no info. Lack of information about compensation is the biggest frustration for workers and job seekers, according to one Glassdoor survey. You have to dig deeper to get what you need. Remember, you are the CEO of your job search. You can also talk to recruiters, try to connect with people on LinkedIn in similar positions, network, ask this question in groups. I am looking at applying for a position. I am not finding information on the salary ranges. Can someone share with me the average salary range for this position? Now, with that being said, do not message someone asking what they personally make. A sure way to get no response. Tip 2. Once you have established a baseline, determine a range. The next step is comparing the average compensation with your market worth. Also take into account what you have been making before. There are many external factors that influence what employers are willing to pay. For example, a retail manager in Kentucky won't be making the same as one in San Francisco. Salary ranges differ greatly by industry, job titles, and location. Consequently, your expected salary has to adjust for that as well. You need to find out what people in that role with your level of experience are making in your geographical location. The market average gives you the baseline. You have to take into consideration other factors as your experience, qualifications, and special skills lucrative to the job. The key is supply and demand. The more demand for your skills, the more negotiating room you will have. Aim higher. In negotiation, there is a concept called anchoring. This means that an agreed upon salary will usually land near the figure that was originally proposed. You have determined that the acceptable average salary for an office manager is $70,000. You can drop your anchor around that, but I will advise you to go up slightly higher. So based on your research, you determined the industry rate is $70,000, but you would be confident asking for a range of $80,000 to $100,000 based on your skills and experience. I'm using $80,000 to $100,000 as your desired salary range so you can easily follow along my examples, right? When pressed for your salary requirements, you should always be sure to give a range and not a specific number. When you give a single number, the interviewers will come with a number lower. Give a range with increments of 20,000, with the lowest being what you expect to receive. Don't say something like 40 to 100,000. That's super flexible. All we hear is 40,000. We are only thinking about the low number while you are thinking about the high number. If your expected salary is 80,000, say your range is 80 to 100,000. Make sure the low number is a number you are happy with. Many of you emailed me concerning this. What are you supposed to do when you have to include your salary expectations in the online application? Should you go with a specific number or range? Assuming this application is the first step of the process, you can put the lowest number you'd possibly accept. This is because the question is being asked to eliminate you rather than to satisfy you. If the system won't let you put in a salary range, you can put in something near to your current compensation. What if you change your mind about the amount and this low number you put in the online application and it comes up later in the interview? You can say something like this. Yes, I remember the salary range I stated earlier, but I was more focused on the job itself rather than the pay and hadn't thought through the pay in detail. But now that we have discussed the details of the job and the responsibilities of this position, I'd like to suggest 80 to 100,000 with benefits as the starting range. Tip 3. Build your case. Demonstrate you have just what the employer is looking for. Focus on the company's needs and solving their problems so they can easily see your value and want to adequately compensate you for it. You will have to prove your worth with specific examples. Make a list of your accomplishments. What makes you stand out? Do you have transferable skills? Mention achievements directly related to the position. Did you cut costs in a particular area? Increase productivity? Use your expertise to improve processes? What have you developed, initiated, created, led, recommended? Focus on your value and show examples of quantifiable results. I developed a system that saved the company thousands of dollars by reducing the time it took to open customer accounts. One of the pilot projects I helped launch resulted in a 10% increase in customer satisfaction. Justify why you are worth the salary. Show them why you deserve what you're asking for. Don't go by feelings. Don't say, well, I think I deserve more money. Build an evidence-based case for your desired salary. Go into negotiation with facts and figures. Mention your skills, experience, qualifications, and quantifiable results, thus making a compelling case. Remember, we are interviewing many candidates for this particular role, so you must be able to present yourself in a manner to show you will be a valuable asset to the organization and thus give yourself a competitive advantage. Tip 4. Be prepared to negotiate. Stay with me, we get strategic here. If you get asked what's your salary expectations early on, the approach to answering a hiring manager versus a recruiter is different. If it's a recruiter, ask them what their budget is. The recruiter knows what the salary budget is for the job he or she is recruiting for. If a recruiter won't give a figure, that's a red flag to me that ultimately the company is looking to lowball you. You can say, I assume you have a budget for this position. Can you tell me the range? If you just share it with me, I will let you know if it works for me. If the recruiter says, sorry, I need a number to continue with this call, just give a figure close to your compensation, your current compensation. If it's a hiring manager, state your range. Don't say things like, I'm not comfortable talking about salary at this stage, or I haven't given it a lot of thought. You are coming prepared to this interview. You should have a range ready to share based on your research. It doesn't make sense to go through multiple rounds of interviews at a company only to find out that the salary isn't even remotely in the ballpark of what you'd be willing to work for. Salary ranges exist so you don't waste their time and they don't waste yours. Here's a sample answer. Based on my previous experience and qualifications and the going rate for this type of position, I'd like to suggest 80 to 100,000 with benefits as the starting salary range. This is definitely a job that I'm well suited for. I led a similar team at my company XYZ and we surpassed all our sales goals. I have all the necessary skills and experience and I truly believe I'm the person for this job. I can deliver the results you are looking for. Is this a range that fits with your compensation structure? If you look at this answer, the candidate answered both the what is your salary expectations and why do you deserve this salary at the same time. Make sure you justify why you're worth this salary. Don't just say my range is XYZ and end of sentence. Important. Although you give the hiring manager a range, wait to the end to negotiate when you have a better idea of what the job is like and responsibilities involved. You can further say something like, while I have a range, I don't have enough information on the role to appraise it. At this stage, it's quite early in the interview, and although I'm quite open and flexible on salary, before I give you a number, I need to know more about the responsibilities, the actual compensation package, and other important considerations like the opportunity for growth. Then I'll have a better idea what an appropriate salary would be. A good fit and adding value are what I care about most. Sales is my passion. I can see myself working for this organization and helping you reach and exceed your sales goals. As far as the salary is concerned, I think we can agree on a mutually agreeable figure later. Your goal is to sell yourself and convince them of your worth before you reach the point of salary negotiations. Salary is one part of total compensation. What sort of benefits are they offering? In terms of vacation, paid time off, professional development, look at the whole package. Is there a clear opportunity to make considerably more through commissions, bonuses, and stock options? Benefits are key and play a major role. If they insist they need a figure, here you can turn the tables around and ask a question back at them. I would need to know more about your salary structure as well as your entire package before I could give an actual figure. Maybe you can tell me how your compensation structure works. Moreover, you can also help me know what budget has been decided for this position. The figure can help me get a better idea about what I should be expecting. Always let them make an offer first, then counter offer. What if they state the salary for this role is XYZ? You can say, I was aiming for a role in the 80 to 100,000 range. Any way we can close the gap? You might as well ask, if you made it to the interview, obviously there is something of interest in you for the interviewer. Strike a balance between being firm and flexible. Always end with a question to the interviewer. Always leave the door open for negotiation. If they give you a figure lower than what you expected, don't say no and close the door. Instead say, I would be more comfortable with. If the employer is starting at a lower range than you expected, thank them for sharing the information and state it's at the lower end of what you're hoping for, but you still like to talk about the job. Then ask whether the figures would be adjusted for the right hire. If they say no, you have to determine if you are willing to continue with this. The question you need to ask yourself is, would you consider taking less pay than you made in your last job? The decision is ultimately yours. What is important in a new job can differ from person to person, so the most important aspect is to have clarity about what you need or want. Is this a great tech company and you want to get your foot in the door? Weigh the pros and cons. You have to be clear on your priorities. We all have different filters or preferences. It all depends on the stage in life that you are at. I always tell clients, never negotiate at the beginning when you haven't put all you have to offer on the table. Try to get to the last round of the interview. If you get to the last round, you have the room for an effective salary negotiation when they know what you are capable of. Wait until you become their candidate of choice. This is when you have the most power. They have selected you and everyone else is second fiddle. Let them open the bidding process. It will give you some leverage in negotiating. Employers are willing to pay more if they believe you can deliver what they need. Always remember, an interview is a conversation, and I repeat, it's a two-way street. It's not just trying to figure out what the employer wants to hear and then repeating it to them. It's figuring out whether you and the company are a good fit for each other. You have to decide what you expect in compensation and feel comfortable discussing it. You have not because you ask not. My strategy is you won't get what you are worth unless you ask. Good employers know that they have to pay for excellent skills and experience. What if they say no? Maybe you found your first counter offer rejected. Most jobs, except for very senior positions, are assigned a specific salary grade. In that case, if it's a set salary range, it may be best to accept at this point if it's what you want. In other companies, ask, can we negotiate on a better package? Besides the base pay, what other benefits are negotiable? What employee benefits, rewards, and bonus opportunities will be included in the compensation package? Prioritize these benefits important to you. Benefits can make a lower salary more acceptable. Decide what benefits you really want. While money definitely matters when negotiating your salary, it's not the primary thing. These forms of compensation should be considered, like a flexible schedule, working from home, healthcare and dental coverage, tuition reimbursement, training, vacation time, paid time off, retirement plan contribution, or a significant signing bonus, to name a few, can be a good exchange for a higher starting salary. Which would be the most important? Which would be the least to you? Be wary of them telling you they will start you at X salary and re-evaluate you after X number of months. We are living in uncertain times and business needs change frequently. You have no idea where that company will be financially after that time period. I fell for this and sadly did not get an increase in salary. This can be a very expensive mistake because you won't have the same latitude to negotiate and improve your position once you're in the door. Try to get the best possible result now. What if they keep asking you what is your current salary? What salary were you paid in your last job? They may also try in a smart way to get you to answer by asking this. So where are you right now in terms of salary, and what are you looking for if you make this move? Never disclose your current salary. When you are interviewing for a job, the salary you earned from a previous employer is not relevant, except as a negotiation advantage for the employer. These questions are illegal to ask in some parts of the world, yet it is still asked by some employers. If you are completing an application online and the application form contains the mandatory field for current salary, you can just enter something close to your current compensation. I know it's tempting, but don't inflate the numbers. Always be truthful. If you share a figure and it comes up in the interview, it's best to always direct the conversation to your skills, quantifiable results, and the value you'd bring to the role. You can answer like this: I am not comfortable sharing my current salary. I would prefer to focus on what value my skill set and experience could bring to your company rather than discuss what I am being paid at my current job. I have 5 years of marketing experience, and my latest campaign won me the company's Most Valuable Employee Award since I was able to increase the customer base by 5% in the last year. I am eager to learn more about this job. While my highest career value is not money, it is important to me that I will be fairly compensated for the work I do. I will be comfortable with a starting salary range of 80 to 100,000. I can be flexible depending on the benefits and any incentives you may offer. Learn to speak up for yourself. If you don't, who will for you? If you have a salary expectation which is reasonable and get eliminated from consideration from the job for that, then you should have second thoughts about working for such an employer. I've worked with numerous clients, and the ones that are wanting to leave their current job are leaving not due to lack of money. The top reasons is because they feel unappreciated, lack of growth and development opportunities, and poor work-life balance. Don't only focus on salary if you want to work for a company. There are so many other things that lead to job satisfaction. You still need to find out if the hiring manager's work style is compatible with yours. Do they micromanage employees? That's a no-no. How is the culture? Are you expected to work 60+ hours per week? Do employees get recognized for their hard work? How do employees view leadership in that company? Important tip: rehearse with a friend or family member and use a mirror to see your facial expressions and body language. The key in negotiation is to be confident but not arrogant. Much of a successful negotiation boils down to being prepared and confident. The employer made the offer and the salary meets or comes close to your compensation. If you decide to take the job, thank the hiring manager and talk about the start date, then ask for a written offer. Most importantly, don't give notice at your current job until you've signed and returned that written offer. Tip 5. You need to know your walk-away figure. If the salary range is far below the range of your expectations, save time and effort and move on. Why settle for an employer who wants to lowball you anyway? Don't be afraid to walk away. It makes no sense taking a job and you can't even pay your bills. There will be many more opportunities ahead. Learn to stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for the salary you deserve. It's about the skills, experience, and value you bring to the table. Know your worth. You may be jobless, but you are not worthless. If you are job searching, never tell yourself, I'll never get a job. My situation is hopeless. I would like to let every single person know that it is possible to find a good job. Believe in yourself and keep trying. It's just a matter of time and the right door will open for you. Do you have an upcoming interview? You will do well. You deserve that salary. Be confident. You are amazing, you are awesome, and you have so much to offer. You have not because you ask not. Know your worth and don't be afraid to ask for it. As my grandmother would say, what is meant for you will not pass you by. If it didn't open, it's not your door. Keep going, your time will come. Just continue to be patient, persistent, of course with fervent prayers. God can make a way for you where there seems to be no way. Thanks for staying to the end. Your season and time is coming. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my very insightful videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day.